Hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're from. My name is Sanket Nakekar and I welcome you all to today's webinar Must-Have Add-ons for Dynamics 365 Project Operations. I'll be your moderator today. We are excited to have you with us as we explore tools that elevate your Dynamics 365 experience. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We'll cover them during the Q&A session at the end. Hope you're excited. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Mr. Rudy Vanhille, Global Product Director at proMX Group, joining us from Belgium. With nearly 20 years of experience in Microsoft Dynamics space, Rudy brings deep expertise across the product development, marketing, business growth. Since joining proMX last year, he has been driving their product strategy forward. Let's give a warm welcome to Rudy. Rudy, you can have the please. Thank you.
Sanket, thank you for the introduction. And nice meeting you, everyone. And welcome to this webinar, Must-Have Add-ons for Project Operations. I'm glad you could join us. My name is Rudy Vanhille, and I'm the Global Product Director at proMX. Our team works closely with customers, partners, and Microsoft to make sure we build solutions that truly add value on top of Dynamics project operations. Today, I'll guide you through some of the most common challenges project-based organizations face and show you how our productivity suite can help solve them. Today's session is about showing as well. I will present you a live demo of our PPM solution, the absence management solution, a better way to track time, and some nice additional features, and a first look into our promising roadmap for the next months. Knowing there is not simply enough time to cover everything in one session of today, but I'm more than happy to organize an individual session to dive deeper with you later on. Let me give you a quick overview of the agenda. We'll start with the 6 points of failure, the most common challenges we see in project-driven organizations. Next, I'll show how we solve those pain points with our solutions, features and functionalities built on top of project operations, and then we'll bring it all to life with a practical scenario. We have created the Greenfield Heights construction project, which is demo data that we use, and with that I can show all those tools that works in that context. After that, you will see the productivity suite in action. That's the hands-on demo that I will give. And finally, we can wrap up with Q&A and the next steps. Before I start, there's something I want to highlight. We are working in close collaboration with Microsoft, with Rupa Mantravadi, who leads the project operations engineering team at Microsoft. We had the pleasure to meet her again last week in Redmond, Seattle. We had a full day workshop about our product feature and the roadmap. And thanks to this close connection, we always know what's coming, what's needed, and where the real gaps are. That's exactly how we can deliver the productivity suite in the most valuable way. Now, the 6 points of failure, let's begin by zooming into some reality where project organizations face with. Even with the best intentions, plans, and people, projects can go off track. We see 6 key failure points that can impact projects, and they happen in day-to-day operations over several industries. Let me walk you through them. So, what goes typically wrong in project-based organizations? No matter the industry, we see the same recurring challenges. First of all, lost revenue. Projects often suffer from unpredictable costs and delays. These directly hit the bottom line, especially when scope changes or resource bottlenecks aren't tracked properly. Secondly, missed deadlines. This one speaks for itself. When teams can't deliver on time, customer satisfaction drops and opportunities are lost. Unmanaged risks. When risks aren't tracked or mitigated early, they tend to snowball into major disruptions. And often, it's only after the damage is done that we realize the signals were there. Then we have operational gaps. Too many tools, disconnected systems, and siloed teams slow everything down. Progress stalls because people aren't aligned or don't have access to the right information and tools. Fifth, resource bottlenecks. This is about either overbooking critical resources or utilizing available talent. It kills momentum and creates frustration within teams. And last, lack of visibility. If you can't see what's happening across your projects, it's hard to make smart decisions. Without real-time insights, everything becomes reactive instead of proactive. These 6 failure points are exactly where our solutions come into play. In the next part of the session, I'll show you the features and functionalities of our project operations add-ons that solve those challenges. These features and functionalities are grouped by domain, key domain. We have announced the full project lifecycle from planning to insights. I'll show you what we announced in work planning, resourcing, execution, people productivity, the financials, and as well reports insight, monitor, and fast forecasting. Let's walk you through each domain. You'll see the features and corresponding products we have developed for each one. The features marked with a star here on your screen are the ones that are included in the demo. So let's start with the domain of work planning. Work planning focuses on everything you need to structure your work. Based on our PPM solution, I'll show you how to manage projects within a portfolio, how to set the baseline for the entire portfolio, compare different scenario plans, and also set dependencies between tasks and projects. Bookable resources are the most important assets in your project. With absence management, I'll demonstrate how to manage different types of leaves. Resourcing can make or break a project. We are at this moment working on a new feature in our PPM solution, which is the resource management, and I will provide you or show you the design of it. So new feature coming on. And also I will show you the calendar view of our absence management solution. In the execution domain, our focus is on helping users log time, manage tasks, and proactively avoid risks and conflicts. And just as an additional feature example of our proMX core solution to enhance project operations, we have a lot of features and functionalities in the core solution. I will show you the recently developed multilingual lookup PCF control. People are the heart of every project. That's why these features are designed to minimize the administrative effort and boost also the productivity of the individuals. Here I'll mainly focus on showcasing our time tracking calendar application. Financial visibility is essential. We have added advanced capabilities for tracking budgets, sales, forecast, and cost. I show you our portfolio budget overview along also with the financial view in our PPM solution. We provide clear, actionable data to steer your project and portfolios, often shown in the charts pane on the right side. And there you have also the filtering options. That's a common way of going along with the chart. And last, the domain of keeping control. I'll demonstrate a new feature that we have developed, our radar chart functionality, some real-time key matrix, and also the various views available in our absence management solution. And you will ask, what about AI? So at proMX, we are heavily investing in Copilot and AI. Microsoft was talking about it already for more than a year. Today, it is about real execution. Led by my colleague Sebastian Sieber, we are actively involved in Microsoft proof of concepts when it concerns AI and have launched our own internal Customer Zero program. This is really to test and refine the agents we have built, and we will use them first in our own organization. Today I will showcase the first version of the absence management agent that we have developed, seamlessly integrated into Microsoft Teams. So, to bring everything together in the demo, we need some demo data, and what we have created is the Greenfield Heights construction project. It's a large urban development project combining residential buildings, public infrastructure, commercial zones, and sustainable features. The project is about 75 plus project team members, including project managers, engineers, subcontractors, and admin. And I will use this scenario to show our solutions on top of project operations. So here you see the portfolio. So a portfolio is a collection of different projects bundled together. This is just an example of 12, but in real situation, you can imagine that there is maybe several hundred projects that you need to manage, and then it becomes hard to get a good overview on it. So here I bundle them together in programs. You see 4 programs, and they are in the highest level connected to each other in the portfolio. So taking this example moving forward, there is budget related to it. There's timeline related to it. So this is the example I will show you. Now, before implementing the productivity suite at the Greenfield Heights, the project team faced several common challenges we often see in these project-driven organizations. First of all, the systems were disconnected. So the teams had to enter the same data multiple times, which caused delays. Time tracking was done in non-integrated system, so resulting in late updates and also unreliable project costs and status. They also had no real visibility into team member absences, leading to overbooked resources and missed deadlines. Planning and forecasting were mostly done in Excel. Happens a lot. Error-prone and far from real-time. And there was no clear way to monitor KPIs, simulate changes, or align sales with delivery. All of this made decision-making reactive instead of proactive, and projects harder to control. Now, to tackle those challenges, we introduced the productivity suite at their company. First, with our PPM solution, the team gained control over project and portfolio planning, using templates, baselines, and simulations to plan smarter and faster without errors. And resource and absence management brought full visibility into team availability, enabling precise allocations and preventing overbookings. With the time tracking app and mobile version, users could log time easily, even on the go. The advanced financials module allowed the team to track budget, sales, costs, and forecast, and simulate different scenarios before making decisions. And real-time dashboards and charts made project health and KPIs visible. So issues could be flagged early and acted on quickly. And with automation tools, routine tasks were streamlined, freeing up time and improving process consistency. All this came together in one single connected environment on top of project operations, transforming how the team worked and drove project success. So this was the before status and the after status at this demo environment. Now, I talked about the features and functionalities. We bundled them kind of together in one productivity suite. So we have core, that's more or less all enhancements that you can imagine to make the usability and the functionalities on top of project operations better. We have time tracking, mobile time tracking, which is close tied together to track your times. We have absence management, like mentioned, and also project portfolio management, which is more or less the flagship where we make real difference with other competitors today because it is really tied into project operations. The blueprint of the solution, you see that everything is built on Dataverse with the Power Platform. What we have developed are Power Platform apps, and on top of Dynamics Project Operations, we have our solutions. Now, this was more or less the PowerPoint part. So let's go to the demo. This is an environment of project operations what we have, and we are now in the managed solution, the PPM solution. So let's go first in that one. So like you see on the left side, we have our classic projects. We have our programs, which is also out of the box, but we added an additional entity, which is portfolios. So the portfolios gives a structure as a kind of parent-child structure. We can have portfolio, program, project. That's just one example, but we can go to more than 5 relations. So as long as there is a parent-child relation, we can do different choices. For instance, we can go with portfolio, program, project, and into project we can do work order, and into work order we can go to tasks. Because we have an example, and I will show you later on, where we kind of combined field service with project operations, and there on top we added the PPM solution. So the programs as well, like you see over here, maybe I just gonna sort a bit. In the programs, you see the projects coming along. So that's the structure. Let's go back to portfolios, open the portfolio. And like mentioned, we are trying to provide also some tools to manage your risk, to get a good overview of your risk, to have some management view on your risks. So risks comes out of, if there is an issue, then a risk is connected as well. So we have the classic issues in the system, but on top of the issues, we have also the risks. And here you see an additional PCF control that we added to the project operation solution, which is more or less the risk matrix, like you know, and it changes interactively. So here, the weather is going better or the weather is going worse. That could impact the project. And you see immediately with the ones and the zeros in your matrix where to keep attention on. Now, this is a 5 by 5 matrix. We can go from 3 to 3 to even up more than 5 to 5. So that's kind of customizable. So this is PPM solution, highest level portfolio, program, projects. I showed you now the risk matrix. What we added as well, because sometimes in very large projects, we have customers dealing with several thousand of projects tied into different portfolios. And then it is also good that you can see the budget health of all your portfolios. And this is shown in this example, where I have an overview on all the budgets, the assigned budget, the budget limit, the actual cost that we bring along, and also the limit consumption, both on actual and on budget, and so on and so forth. So this is a very handy overview that we bring to the overall PPM solution. Okay, going to the real PPM itself, because what is PPM? PPM wants to give you a better view on all those different projects, programs, and portfolios. That's where we use the Gantt chart. So the Gantt chart, what you see over here, and let me also sort a bit. You see at the highest level the portfolio, the program, and the projects inside. If you want to see more information, you can always collapse. If you only want to see the grid by itself, that's also possible. So here you see the Gantt chart with on top the portfolio, program, and the projects in it. Now, projects could be dependent from each other. So we have also the possibility to put dependencies between projects. In one of the examples of our customers, we go a level deeper, where we really connect tasks with each other, and where tasks could be dependent from each other. Even certain tasks or projects in a certain program could be dependent with another project in another program. So that's all possible. And this is really what we add on top of project operations, because with project operations you only zoom into one project and the dependency is there. Now, we can create dependencies just by dragging your lines. And if you double click, you can see that we have several possibilities. This is one, finish to start. You can do start to start, finish to finish, as well start to finish. And if we do that, then you will automatically see let me close this first. Okay, here we go. That because I said, okay, it is finished to start, that means the second project will only start when the previous project is ended. So, and here by drawing that kind of dependency, it automatically shifts. So that's in a kind of interactive way. And also, of course, the data is changed. Now, what can I do as well? We can go to another view. We can do yearly base. We can do quarter base, month base, week base. For one of our customers, we have it on daily base and zoom into the day as well, where we go to the smallest unit, which is 30 minutes. So we can kind of configure the application to the smallest unit you want. Now, when you start your portfolio, when you start working with the PPM solution, we always create a baseline. So baseline is well known in portfolio, and this is my baseline. That's the starting point. There is no actuals yet. There's no things changed. That is the begin status. But going along, we can always change different versions or simulate different versions. This is mostly what-if situations. And you have always the live version. So that's handy when you want to compare different scenarios and see what is the optimized situation to move forward with. Now, on the left side, on the right side, sorry, there is a filter. And when I open the filter, I can show the baseline as well just by toggling. And here you see already a difference. You see as well that there is really a new project added. So we added as well the restaurants construction. So that's different between the baseline. So you see it immediately. Maybe now take a third version. And with the third version and every version, you can compare and then see in timeline what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, put some dependencies between it, compare and see what the best option is. Now, We recently added the financial view. What is the financial view? The financial view wants to give, in the Gantt chart, an immediately view on what is the financial status of my portfolio. So let's open that. And here you see the financial view only on budget level, but we can activate sales, we can activate cost, and we can activate forecast. If I move down to one of the examples here, so maybe this one, it's a recently added extra program, and I have some information. Now, how the percentages are calculated, that's real quite complex formulas. It's documented. It does make sense. The only thing I want to say here is that we have a beginning, we have an end of the program, and the timeline, the red line, is today. So everything what you see on the left side are the actuals in project operations. Everything on the right side are the estimated values. And this is as well on budget, sales cost, and forecast level. Now, this gives already more information on your project. And what we can do now as well is go to the comparable way of seeing it. And you can even compare different scenarios against the live version and see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and what should be better, what could be better. So that's a first glimpse of our PPM solution. We invest quite a lot, and you will see it later on if I show you the roadmap for the next 4 months. It is getting a very, very complete solution. Almost unique if you combine it with the project operation solution. Good. I was telling about the resource view. So you have your timeline, you have your financials. We are adding at this moment also a resource view. So where you can toggle on your right filter side, click on resource view, and then you will get this. So this will give the planner, so to say, the project manager, insights on the portfolio, the program, the project, and in the project, which team members are connected and what are the tasks they are performing in that project. And also the other projects where they are connected to. So we have the project and the tasks of that team member, but it is also good to know what other projects are there where he or she is working on. And then also give insights on the real bookings, and then as well, what is the availability of that person? Is he still available to do some other work, yes and no? So this is a first glimpse on what we will create on the resource view. So I think this will be a very nice feature that we will add. Good. Right, let's move forward now. Let's go to absence management. Now, absence management, let's see. No, I need to click the other one. So absence management is a solution that we have built because sometimes absence and leaves are in an HR system. So what we did, we can always integrate with an HR system. What we did with absence management is more or less giving a tool to manage leaves, but really on top of Dynamics. So it's really included in Dynamics. And not only project operations, but also field service make use of the unified resource scheduling. So yes, we integrated, we built this on top of the unified resource scheduling. That means as well, whenever there is a leave approved of a certain person, that is it is directly impacted on the availability of that person. You see it immediately in your schedule. So I think because of that, it is a very nice add-on, totally integrated in a real-time way, taking care, manage your leaves. So here you see my leaves, not that much this year. I have 30 days allowed, only took one, and I have some additional holidays which is not approved yet. Now, let's start with what are the holiday allowances. So you can configure this per bookable resource. Of course, you can manage your bookable resources as well, like you see over here. And then there's different rules that could occur. Different rules about the way people can take leave in a company. Sometimes depends on a company, or depends on a country, or even depends on a region. It's totally different in India than in Germany, for instance, or other parts in Europe. So that's why we have holiday areas where we have different rules for public holidays, school holidays, even taking leave. If you are sick in India, they need to deduct it from the holiday allowances. In Germany or in other countries, not. So all those different things are included into the solution. Now, we want to bring it to a way that we see it in a kind of visual way as well. And that's why we have the calendar view. So the calendar view, like you see over here, and I will go to the other environment because there I am manager as well. So here you see the example of the company view where I see my team. I can group in different ways, but here I see immediately at one glance the month of May of my team, about the leaves that they took, which status it has. So status is the small indicators on top, and the different colors are just the type of the leaves, and this is how I can see it immediately. So I think that's very handy as a tool. I have the management view, and also I have my personal view. My personal view is just my year calendar where I can see my absences, my leaves. And it works with workflow, so whenever I submit a leave request, it will be approved or rejected by my manager, and so on and so forth. So that's the absence management. Now, it's nice to have such an application, but maybe it is more nice that we can work a bit with some AI. Now, I have here in my Teams the Copilot included, and also like you see over here, we have the absence management agent. Now, with the absence management agent, it is doing the same as with the application, but do it in a kind of messaging way. It is just a question and answer way of working. So I can just create a leave request, show my absence requests and all other functionalities. And I can go and, for instance, I just copy the sentence, doesn't matter what sentence, as long as you recognize, oh, this is holiday allowance. So now I just ask the system, can you give me the overview of my current holiday allowance? I don't know it anymore. I don't want to go to my system and open the app and then check for the correct screen to have my data. I just can ask it as well. So here I get my overview. I had 30 days. Means 29 remaining. There was 1 approved and 5 not yet approved. I can also see the requests, the approved one and the pending ones. Now, what I can do as well, I can now do, for instance, create an absence request, and then he will give me a card because it works with card. So now in Teams, I get a kind of small interface where I just open or select my things I want to have, half day, full day, from 2, and then I can push submit, and then in the background everything will be processed and it will be also it will go to my manager, so he or she can approve or reject if needed. So that's how AI works. We make use of an MCP server. So what is an MCP server? That's a model context protocol server that's built on top of Dynamics. So instead of going into the heart of Dynamics and all those functions, the MCP server gives me a kind of common way to address the dataverse, to address the functionalities of Dynamics, and in our case as well, the absence management solution. Another item I want to show, which is time tracking. Now, time tracking, also here, it is tied into the time entries of the project ops. On the left side, we have the bookable resources. In our application, you can also book on behalf of someone. And on the right side, you see some charts and some additional information on, in this case, the week. Now, it is tied into your projects and your tasks, and I have some favorites, even maybe just one task. So whenever I just click, it automatically say, okay, it is between 3 and 4 p.m. It's 1 hour of work. He automatically see that I'm working for the local build company. I'm now working on Block A, affordable housing. I'm working on the foundation and framing, and I worked. So I have a time entry that I can add, and I can save it now. Now, we have as well a mobile app for this, so that you can really track your time on the go with a start and a stop timer. And that gives you the possibility to really track your time on a mobile phone. We have also in our solution the integration with the Outlook calendar, so that you can copy within the entries of your Outlook calendar. We have also the possibility to add recurring entries, like you see. For instance, I work for the next month every morning from 8 to 9. We have a sprint planning. You can put it in there. And then further on, I work 7 hours a day on that project. So you can do recurring as well. So that's shortly the time tracking application that I want to show. Let's dive into something else now. So I've showed you already the PPM solution, the absence management solution, the time tracking, the AI of absence management. We have the core solution. And in the core solution, it's really enhancement on top of project ops, where we just bundled screens together, where we had multi-set options set, multi-lookup fields, and so on and so forth. So there is a few others that I want to show. And one of them is a recent developed radar chart. Let's go perhaps now to another application. I'm now in another environment. Want to dive into a project, and let's open this one. We have what I show you now is one of the examples. We have multiple examples of this, of small additions we have created on top of project operations. And in this case, we have a radar chart included. So based upon a data set, which you can create by yourself, today it is the project readiness assessment, but doesn't matter what you want to create. We have built this radar chart in a way that you can configure all those different fields, all those different items. So on the left side, you have the grid, but this grid and also the columns there are fully customizable. That means you can put your radar chart on top of everything what you like. And then, like you see, you can easily change the values, and it will reflect immediately as well here in the radar chart. So that's the part of radar chart, and I think here I end my live demo. Now, This is an example we have with our PPM solution, which go very into details on task level. And like you see as well, it is really on our side. So the minimal unit is 30 minutes. This company works with field service, and it is doable for simple work orders. But they have work orders with several thousands of tasks, with a lot of dependencies, like you see over here. If I scroll. So in this portfolio with that company, over several months, they need to cover more than 50,000 tasks. It's really huge. So, and that's where our PPM solutions comes in. This means as well, whenever a task shifts, that everything needs to shift as well, because some of them are dependent of each other. So that's an additional example I wanted to show. Something else that we have created as kind of additional feature. You can use project operations in several languages. Yeah, for instance, English team can use English. And that means that all the information on your screen is English. But we have also a German team where all the fields and the labels are in German. Now, you can translate the labels, but it is sometimes difficult to translate the content. And that's what we did here. So we have created a multilingual lookup control. That means you can put that on top of project operations, and you can as well, let's see, if I click here, toggle between English or German, the content itself of the lookup field. So it depends on your language on user side, and then you get the correct content of the lookup field itself. So this is another example that we have added on top of project operations in our core solution. Okay. Before going to Q&A and almost closing the session, I want to give you a glimpse on what is on the roadmap for the next months. So you see here as well the different colors. So the more black related is our core solution, the purple is PPM, we have some time tracking, and we have also a separated new app that we will develop. Let's go through them. Change management, that's a functionality that we will add, and that's about change requests. And when there is a risk and something needs to change, these changes needs to be reviewed and with workflow also approved. So that's something we will create. Then there is also a tab picker. If you see screens today in project operations, there's a lot of information. Sometimes you don't need all that information. There is too many tabs on your screen. So we will create a kind of tab picker where you can configure with settings what you want to see on your screen or what you want to hide. Then we have deliverables. This is kind of overall deliverables on high level. What are the goals and project phases? That's on top of PO that we will add. And then we have as well rate management. Now, rate management, that's more or less an extension on what we have today already on the risk. But there we go into risks, assumptions, issues, and the decision around it. So that's rate management. I think idea management speaks for itself. So that's a way how we collect, evaluate, prioritize, and progress on ideas. OKRs, that's something we want to add in our solution, especially as a separate app as well. That's a kind of goal settings framework with objectives, like that's OKR, and also the measurable key results. Then notifications. Notifications is something that we want to add on top of project operations. That is kind of a centralized notification engine where you can define the interval and also the different channels. I want to update myself in notifications, so you can say, okay, I want this every week and I want this through Teams or something like that. Then we will add a new entity, a new management of business case. That's more or less project portfolio program and DID bundled together as a kind of structured document to evaluate the investment. Should we do it, yes or no, more or less. Then the lessons learned, that's a kind of structured way, a documented way on the positive outcomes and also maybe the failures. So that's lessons learned. Then the critical path, I think that's one of the priorities that we will take. That's the longest sequence of dependent activities in a project schedule that determines the shortest possible project durations. So the more projects bundled together, but in the smallest duration. So that's more or less the critical path. Then we also want to create a pulse check. That's a kind of brief recurring diagnostic of your project or portfolio well-being. Then also life cycle. Life cycle gives kind of structure overview of portfolio and the planning around it. Also works with different phases. You can say it is stages in your portfolio. And also we will define gates, stage gates. That's kind of questionnaire that you need to go through, and whenever everything is positive answered, you can go to the next stage. So that's what we call life cycle. Then we will add some additional status reports on PPM. We will create additional functionality on ROI. Additional dashboards and templates will come. One of the implementations we already did, we will include it as well in our solution, is milestones. It's kind of checkpoints, different phases again that you can define, and you can plan on milestones as well. Instead of going into the details of the project and the tasks itself, it is going with milestones. Then I showed you that you can create some scenarios and play around with it. We will try to make that AI generated. So AI generated what-if models on the scenario plans. Same with comparison views, different comparisons that we can make. We want to improve this. We want to also add AI to it to give you a better choice, to give you a better decision. What is missing is the CAPEX and OPEX costs reporting. That's what we want to add. And yeah, we are working in project operations, but sometimes we use other tools as well. We use some planner, we use DevOps, and maybe third-party scheduling tools, but we want to bring them all together. So on top of that, in our PPM solution, we want to collect with other scheduling tools as well, and have kind of bi-directional data synchronization between those tools. Now, to end with, we have our time tracking solution as well, the calendar view and the mobile time tracking. On top of what we have today is the overtime and the flex time that we will add soon as well in the solution. So how to deal with overtime, what is flex time, what is billable, what is not billable, what overtime is taking as kind of, you can really take vacation for it, and what is flex time and so on and so forth. So that's what we will add to our solution as well. Now, this ends my session. So I hope you had an overview on what we have in our solution. I started with some points of failure. I positioned how we answered these points of failure with some of the components we have. Like I said, it is just a tip of the iceberg because we have already 20 years experience in this matter and created a lot of tools. But I thought, let me show these ones. These are the ones that I think could impact your working with projects. And I want to stress it again. Yes, it is integrated on top of project operations, so I think this gives us a unique positioning. It's kind of focus we have in the market, but it gives us a quite unique positioning with our tools. Sanket, maybe we can go to the Q&A part.
Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. Thank you for such an insightful and valuable workshop. And as we are coming to an end, hope you guys were excited about this. And we are starting with the Q&A now. So, Rudy, we have the first question of the day. How does the Microsoft 365 Productivity Suite integrate with Dynamics 365 project operations?
Yeah. So if I showed you if you can remember the blueprint, it is really layered on top of the dynamic stack. We built our solution in the Power Apps environment, Power Automate included, and we have Dataverse as the data layer, and then we build on top. So project operations is on top of that, and yes, we have built it in that environment. Now, PPM solution is something we can maybe disconnect more or less, because that's a Power App where we have kind of structure with parent-child, and as long as there is a start date and end date, maybe a start time and end time, we can integrate it with other project management solutions as well. But the real advantage comes when we are really working close together with project operations. So yeah.
Great. Thank you for that answer, Rudy. There's a second question I can see as well regarding the productivity suite. Can it be used by companies not using project operations yet, or is it built on top of it?
Yeah, that's more or less what I answered already. Yes, I think the best success is when you are working close together with project operations, but I gave you the example of field service. And in field service, there is also kind of begin date, end date, begin time, end time. In field service, there is just a simple way of putting dependencies on it. With the PPM solution, we can create more complex dependencies. The absence management as such is also going broader than just the project operations stack, because it is more dynamics related, where we base ourselves on the unified resource scheduling.
Great. I guess someone is typing in the chat. That's very interesting. One more question. Are these features included today or on the roadmap? Are they on, or they are on the roadmap? So
which one? So
AI
everything
features.
everything. Sorry, AI?
AI feature. Are these AI features included today or on the roadmap? So
maybe I need to answer in common here. It's a general answer. So I think Microsoft created a lot of awareness around AI last year, where we started with our Copilot. We could chat with each other and then receive the message. Now we are taking steps further. First of all, like mentioned, Microsoft is pushing everyone that is working with AI, be your own customer zero. And customer zero means do your AI projects internally. And yes, we are working together with Microsoft today to go to app improvements. So you will see, for instance, on project operations on the Evo side, that there is a kind of expense AI, an expense agent, or an approval agent. We did the testing on the approval agents by ourselves. So that's what you see. So Microsoft will come with additional agents. So for the rest, yes, we have a dedicated team in proMX of about 6 people, led by Sebastian Sieber, that is working 100% on AI. So because this is the future. And we see it as well in demands that we get from customers. Quite complex things that we need to answer, sometimes only possible with AI. The absence management, that's a first app that will be ready soon, but we are working on other ones. And like mentioned, things like improvement on scenarios, on portfolios, this will be added to the solutions soon. Yes, they are on the roadmap. It is working close together with the other team.
That's perfect. Uh, I have two more questions to go. So, how can a new customer get started quickly with the suite?
Okay, yeah, good question. Maybe I can go to a next slide because it is quite common in proMX that we offer a 2 hours discovery call for free. That's where our people, pre-sales people, come together with you and zoom into what the current challenges are. What are the pain points? Where can we make things more efficient? What are specific goals, requirements? And then, yeah, we can come up with a tailored approach how they can implement, first of all, maybe project operations or dynamics in a whole, and where we can add our productivity suite on top of it. All the apps are available in App Source. They are transactable, so that's also needed from Microsoft. But to download, to install, just connect with us, and we will see how we can go more into details of the products itself. But it is better just instead of just showing the products, understand the business case of the customer, and then we can connect the dots together.
Great. Thank you for the answer, Rudy. There's one more last question from Mr. Phil Simpson about the Gantt charts you showed.
Yeah.
The Gantt charts you showed for the portfolio management, still using project for the web in the background? That is the question.
Yeah, good question. Yes and no. So, because and it is not really project for the web or planner. It is the scheduling API. So when it is not too complex, yes, we are using the scheduling API to the scheduling. We don't put it on external scheduling. It could be in cases that we need to go to external scheduling. Because of the complexity, because of a lot of tasks, a lot of projects and dependencies that needs to be fulfilled. And there we can go to external scheduling, so to say, where we, in some cases, just pass by the scheduling API. But common in our solution, yes, we use the planner for the web way of working. So translated in, yes, we are using the scheduling API of Planner.
Thank you for that, and thank you for the question, Mr. Phil. So I think that was the last question of the day. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar, and thank you so much, Rudy, for giving us this valuable and insightful webinar. That's it for the day. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you for joining. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.